Well, it's good to be here. I'm grateful and thankful. I'm thankful that the Lord has given me a mind and He has given me the ability to read and to study and to learn and understand. There are many people today that are living under the wrong power. They're living under the power of the government. They're living under the power of their own self-will. They're living under the power that is really not power. What we witnessed in history just these last couple of days, I don't believe that nobody could condone. I certainly do not condone it, but I do believe that we will find out who the guilty people is. And I think that we're going to be surprised at who the actual guilty people was. People are in the flesh. They live in the flesh. They think in the flesh. They act in the flesh. All they have is the flesh. All they have is fleshly thinking and fleshly ideas. They're not thinking with the spiritual thinking because they don't have the Spirit. A lot of people that doesn't know the Lord, they don't have the ability but to live in their natural fleshly power. We're going to talk about a verse today that explains what I'm trying to say. There's people that literally are living every day in fear. They don't recognize God. They don't see God as a value to them. God is not that much of a value in their life. But I come out here with the attitude that, Lord, I'm thankful. Part of me is just sad today. Usually I'm a little more upbeat, but I'm just sad at the fact that I feel like that right has been trampled upon. But what does make me somewhat excited is the verse in the Bible. And I didn't come out here to talk about this verse because I've talked about it many a time, that the Bible even states that things is going to wax worse and worse. And I've used the analogy of how wax gets in your ear. Now, I know it might sound a little bit gross, but bear with me. Wax just don't get in your ear overnight. Wax is a buildup. And I don't really know where the wax comes from. It could be just comes from the oil that maybe might be in your body. It might come from heat and from sweat and maybe with a little bit of dirt and dust. And gradually, as the ear breathes, it lets off a certain amount of goop, I guess you could say. And the wax, over a period of months, if left unattended, it builds up wax. And the Bible even said in one place, and I don't remember where the verse was, I didn't come out here prepared to talk about any one subject, but the scripture says somewhere where it's going to wax worse and worse. And I think that what we saw this week with what happened in Washington was nothing but a buildup that was bound to happen. I mean, I don't condone breaking windows. I don't condone anybody's death. I don't condone any vandalism or any trouble or things of that nature, but people is on high alert. And I believe that the longer it goes, it's going to continue to wax worse and worse. But I've got some perfect news for people that believe in the Lord, that truly believe in the Lord, that has a life-changing experience from the Lord, is the waxing worse and worse is not going to affect the born-again Christian. Now, does that mean that we're not going to go through things? Yeah, we'll go through things. We're going to face things that are common to man. I don't remember where that verse is. I don't have nothing here in front of me. But we're going to face things that are common to man. But it's not going to affect the Christian, because the Christian has something between the trouble and the Christian. It's like the football team. You have defensive line, you have offensive players and defensive players, and when the team that has got the ball, they got the other side that won't let you advance the ball. And on this side of the ball, you got their mission is to advance the ball, and you have opposing people on one side and offensive people on the other side, and their mission is opposite. The one that has the ball has the mission of getting to the other end. The one that doesn't have the ball has the mission of stopping the ones that is trying to approach. And it's sort of like doing this number. And when the team gets to the point where the team starts fumbling and everything, then all of a sudden the other team can sort of run over the other team. And I think that's really what we're seeing today. Nobody would have ever dreamed that things in Washington would have turned out the way it did. I mean, I wouldn't have never dreamed that, but it's not surprising to me, because you have a lot of people that doesn't feel that they have been heard. I mean, I personally feel like that there was some just shenanigans going on, but you know what? That's all fleshly. That's all earthly. And it's all going to pass away one day. All of the stuff that is going on is going to pass away one day. It ain't going to even be worth fighting over. If the Lord was to come back today, nobody would remember at all what happened in Washington on the 6th of January. Not even the history book would even care about it, because the coming of the Lord would supersede any and all events. I hadn't even got into the Bible yet, but yet I've used a few verses. Things are going to wax worse and worse, and it is. Wax doesn't get in your ear overnight, and you got a blockage in your ear. Here's what I do, and I'm just telling you this. This is what I do. Whenever I want to massage my ear, I use a Q-tip, but they say that the Q-tip is dangerous because it could end up impacting your ear with the wax that is in your ear. But what I do is I tear off a good portion of the cotton, and I take that tip and I put it under the water, just a little touch of water, so that when I stick it in my ear, I'm not forcing anything in to my eardrum. I'm not forcing it in all the way. I'm able to go all the way to my eardrum, and then I'll start turning it backwards. And you know what? I very rarely ever pick up anything because I constantly clean my ear with the little bit of cotton. I'm not forcing it in with the same kind of cotton that's on the end of it. Why am I saying that? Because I'm not letting the wax impact in my ear canal, that I'm keeping it open. And you know, I think that's what the Lord is really wanting the people to do today, is the Lord wants people to just be open to the gospel, so that when the things do start waxing worse and worse, it's not going to affect the person that is saved. Remember I said when I first come out here about the higher power. There's a verse, and I got it here, and it's in Romans chapter 13, at the beginning of the chapter 13, in verse 1. I want you to listen to this. Let every soul be subject unto the higher powers. The higher power to a lot of people is what happened yesterday. They overtook the House chambers and the Senate chambers. And basically it showed how the anger can build up, and there was a certain amount of power that broke in and went and got so far as to go inside the chambers, which, as far as I know, has never been done, in the last 150 years. I mean, imagine what all the other countries must have thought, that the greatest country in all the world, the United States, is having a coup. I mean, can you imagine? But see, what does this verse say? Let every soul be subject unto the higher powers. The higher powers to the people that are lost, or the people that's going to want to fight, people that's going to want to tear up, people that's going to want to show out. And see, we don't know how many of the troublemakers was in the front of all that big crowd that was there, probably just being content to stay outside. But you've got a few that entered into the place of where average common people don't get to go. What I'm saying is, people has got their power mixed up. They're using the power of today. They're using the power of anger. They're using the power of self-will. This power here, let every soul be subject unto the higher powers, meaning that there's only one power. For there is no power but of God. See, God is the only ultimate power. God is the only power that's going to be in charge of everything. God knew that the trouble was going to take place. It's not like that the trouble was news to God, like God woke up and said, oh gosh, what do I do now? No. It didn't surprise God in what was going to happen. God wasn't caught off guard of what was going to happen. He saw some people as being a pure idiot. And now everything basically is up in the air. Far as I heard today, the president has basically said, great, go for it. I'm not going to hurdle. I'm not going to throw no more stones, into the creek. I mean, he's still not going to give in to where he's throwing in the towel, far as saying that he lost. He's not going to do that. But you know what? If I was him, I would just, there's a place in the Bible, and I don't remember where it is, but there's a place in the Bible where it says to shake the dust off your feet for a testimony against them. I don't remember where that is. Shake the dust off. You know what? Honestly, I believe that we're at a time right now when the Lord is soon to return. And I believe it's time almost to shake the dust off. I wanted Mr. Trump to stay in there. I did. And we don't know what the next several days holds, honestly. I mean, people think that God is done and there's nothing that can be done. No, we don't know the half. It's sort of like Paul Harvey would say years ago, tune in tomorrow for the rest of the story. See, we don't know the rest of the story yet. People are willing to jump ship and quit. They're quitting their job because they got their little feelings hurt. You know what? This here's nothing but going to prove who is it that was a real patriot and who is it that is not a patriot. I can't sit here and blame Pence. I don't know what Pence has done and what he's not done. I don't really know. Only God knows who's threw in the towel and who is not threw in the towel. The first day of the Biden administration, is everything going to go to hell in a handbasket? I don't think it might. It might just calm down for a few days. But let me tell you what I know. In Proverbs chapter 11 in verse 1, and let me just turn there. I wasn't even planning on doing this, and this is not really my message, but then again, it might be. Who knows? When I come out here, I have no idea where I'm going to go. Proverbs chapter 11. Listen to the first verse. A false balance is abomination to the Lord. A false balance. You know what that means? A balance that was given that was a false balance. That could have been stolen votes. It could have been a stolen collection or an election. There's a lot of things that verse could actually mean. A false balance is abomination to the Lord. It's abominable to the Lord for the false balance, meaning things that are false. If he's getting into office because he stole his way in there, then it's a false balance. That's exactly what it means. But a just weight is his delight. A just weight, a person that is just, then that is his delight. And you know what? God knows which side is a false balance, and he knows which side is the just weight. I don't need to come on here and tell y'all what to believe or what not to believe. I'm telling you that God is still in control. Today, the 7th of January, God is still in full control. So when I start thinking of things waxing worse and worse, it's not going to wax worse for the ones who are saved. We have been given a promise of eternal life. We don't know when the Lord's going to come, but we believe that he is going to come. I believe he's going to come. I believe it's going to be sooner than we think, honestly. I hope you're ready. For whosoever shall call on the name of the Lord shall be saved. Elderly Ministry is the website. You'll find the phone number there. Leave me a message, and I will return your call. Make sure you leave a message when you call. I'd be honored to talk to you. Okay? Look up. Jesus is on the throne.